Hi, today I'm going to show you a little bit about high-resolution backgrounds for printing and what's needed to use in your cutting programs like Make the Cut and Silhouette Studio. What I'm showing here is a seamless background, and one of the main things we want in a background is for it to be seamless. And the reason for that is we can use a smaller tile to fill a bigger area, and we won't bog down our machine with a big file, but yet we can cover a large area. So what's shown here is what an area covered with a seamless tile looks like. If your tile is not seamless, then it might look something like this, where obviously you see seams. So this is what we want to avoid, is a picture with seams. We want one that's seamless. That's what's meant by a seamless tile. The other thing that we need is high resolution. Most people think of that as a large file. This one here is actually the tile that created that other larger tiled area that you saw, and it's a nice large file, 300 by 300. But just because something is 300 by 300 doesn't mean it's going to be a high resolution suitable for printing. And the reason for this is because it has to be scaled properly. The problem with this is because at 300 by 300 these coins are roughly actual size or a little bit smaller than that. When we print it 300 dots per inch, this 300 dots is going to squeeze into 1 inch, and the pattern is going to look basically like this. So if we wanted our coins to be life size, it's not going to happen. In fact, they're barely going to be even recognizable as coins when we're printing at that tiny of a resolution. So it needs to be 300 dots per inch and scaled to print the pattern repeating at 1 inch. This is a little tricky to get your heads around, but I found a tool that will let us design patterns and look at the print size at the same time. This is repperpatterns.com, their free demo tool. Really a lot of fun to play with. And it lets you view the patterns in print size or in screen size. The first thing we want to do is we want to see that we have 300 pixels in this top box here to represent the width, and this is the default, so that should be right, and that's at 100%, or with this all the way to the right. So then what we're going to do, we're going to scale this down until this box is roughly 1 inch wide on your screen, and that'll probably happen, depending on your screen, around 90, 88, something like that. So you can take a ruler to your screen and see. And I also like to start with the P6m Pattern Style. There are a lot of pattern styles. Only a few of them are available in the free version of this, but the P6m gives great results and it'll work good for this demo. The next thing you need is a seed image, and you want something that's colorful and you want something that's high resolution to start with. So you're probably not going to be able to just grab something off the web unless it's really large. This one that's included with repperpatterns.com is really cool, or you can use any of your own clip art. And the really neat thing about this is that you can take a graphic that you're trying to match and put it in here, and then you'll have a background pattern that matches. So I'm going to load up an image from one of my favorites, Dustin Pike, of the dragon. And now it's just plain. You move the square, as you move the square around, the image on your screen updates to show what your pattern is going to look like. And because we've sized this down to a percentage, and these will close if you want them out of the way, this background is going to show what the print will look like, because we're viewing it at a reduced size. So that's what's really cool about this, is that we're actually seeing what the pattern's going to look like printed. So we can move this around depending on what we're looking for. We can make some, lizard skin here, or we can go up here to where there's red and green and come up with some cool Christmas patterns. If you go over here, you can make some neat flowers. You can play with this all day long. You can come up with 100 patterns just out of this one image. It's really a matter of what you want. Sometimes it gets a little slow and it has to catch up. Here we're turning the scales on his tail into flowers. It's like a kaleidoscope, especially in this P6m, which is using a hexagonal repeat. You can just play to your heart's content until you get a pattern that you like. I'm kind of partial to these blue flowers here. So I'm going to go up here till I get one that I like. And then I'm going to click on Export. And I'm going to go to Save Tile. And it's giving me the demo warning. Click on that. Now, this is what my tile looks like. 300 pixels wide, 173 high. If I click on this, this is what it will print like, because we've set that reduction to help us with that. So we know this was correct. We click Save. We can save it to whatever folder we want, and we will get some warnings because this is a demo. But now when we open that up and put it into Make the Cut or into Silhouette Studio and drag it in, we can scale it and it will print nicely, high resolution at the sizes that we want. A couple other things you can do here. There's colors presets. You can fade it if you wanted to put text over it, for instance. You can go to black and white. There's a vintage and some other interesting things here. You can change some of the settings yourself. So there's a lot that you can do here. Like I said, you could get hundreds of patterns just out of one seed image. But the key here is to scale this down so that you are looking on the screen at what your print size is going to look like. So I hope you enjoy this, and I hope everybody starts posting their free patterns soon. And thanks for listening. Bye-bye.